Hello, this is another video on your interview and your road to getting a job in the UAE as a teacher. Okay, so we're going to talk about the interview section and your micro teaching session. Now, this part is 5 minutes long. So I recommend when you're doing your lesson plan, preparing yourself for this lesson, you time yourself and so that you don't go over that time. All right. It is best that you don't do too little time, but 5 minutes maximum. So I'm going to consult my notes again because, as I said before, the interview happened so long ago, I forget some of the stuff. But I'm going to consult my notes as I go along. So forgive me when I glimpse to the other side, the left, to looking on my notes on the screen of my laptop. Okay, so make your lesson relevant to the subject. So if you teach English language, teach English language. Do not go and teach math. If you don't teach math, do not teach math, okay? Or if you teach social studies, don't teach physics, all right? So make it relevant to the subject and the level for which you are being interviewed. So normally your recruitment officer will give you a grade that you'll be doing your lesson plan on. Okay, so if it's 7 to 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, depending on your experience, because your recruitment officer will seek jobs based on your experience as well. So make it something you are passionate about and knowledgeable about. Do not teach a topic that you don't like. For English teachers, there are some topics that we don't like. And or even if we don't like it, it's difficult to teach, or there's not much that you can really expand on in such short time. So find something that you're passionate, a topic that you're passionate about and knowledgeable about. Plan your lesson, make sure you have clear objectives. Okay? You have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay? You can have your lesson. You can have your lesson plan with you because they might not know, they might ask you. Okay? At times, the recruitment officer might give you an example of the type of lesson plan they want, the layout, okay, the structure of the lesson plan. Make sure you have differentiation in your lesson plan, especially for English language learners, those who are more able and those who are less able to manage the topic. So higher and lower order of the day, right? So make sure that you have higher level learners and lower level learners objective in differentiation to challenge each level, okay? If you don't have it, they will mark you down for it because they normally do ask you about differentiation, all right? Have a clear outcome of the lesson. What do you want them to learn? Lesson objective. It's only 5 minutes, so focus. Keep it very focused on the topic. Do not sidetrack. And show how you will assess the objectives that you are teaching in that 5 minutes. Practice your lesson plan, as I said before, and time it so that you don't go over. And make sure that you smile. Don't be so dreary, and be animated. Keep eye contact. You might not see the person on the screen, but you look on the screen. Look on the screen. Look on whoever you're talking to. Look on the video. Look on whatever is in front of you on that interview day. keep eye contact, okay? And ensure that you speak each interviewer's name. Remember in the previous video, I said to you, write down the names of the interviewers and use them as students in your lesson. So call on the names. Okay, so you ask them for their names, or if they introduce themselves, which they normally do, you write their names down. If you're not clear on what they're saying, ask them before you move on. Don't assume that you heard their names correctly and right. Okay, so make it engaging, make it interactive, get the students involved, okay? Speak clearly and slowly. These are second language learners, so when you speak fast, they will not understand you. No, they won't. So you have to slow down the pace. You cannot compare first language learners or Jamaican students or your Jamaican classroom to the overseas, especially second language students' classroom and the students. They will not understand you when you speak fast. So you slow down when you talk. Speak clearly and slowly, yes. Because your interviewers do listen to your accent. Is it possible for them to understand what you're saying? And are you able to bring the lesson across to the students clearly? Be prepared to answer questions. They will ask you questions, and it's mostly on differentiation, as I said before, such as how would you teach this differently if you were teaching classes several years younger? What are the outcomes of the lesson that you expect? How would you teach this differently if the child is struggling with English? Because as I said before, some classes, the majority might speak English if you speak slowly and clearly, but then there are some who don't, or just a little. So you will have to have some strategy or some ways of helping this student to learn what you are teaching. What would you do if you saw some children were falling behind? They will ask you that as well. Be prepared for one of the students to act out. How will you handle it? So if you, in your interview, in your mini lesson, one of the interviewers that you use as your students might just act out in that interview. And what will you do next? So be prepared for anything, okay? General interview tips, because some persons might, you might know how to do a mini lesson and all of that. But what else is expected in your lesson? Have your passport ready. They want to verify your identity. Have a copy of your resume. You can even make some bullet points to refer when doing your introduction from your resume. Yes. Dress professionally. Yes. Remember, this country is a conservative country, and so you have to respect their views and beliefs. So it is best to dress professionally, especially on an interview. First impression lasts. Avoid loud, bright colors and excessive makeup. Dark colors look more professional. Dress conservatively. Avoid low-cut shirts and bare shoulders. You will probably be asked, why do you want to work here? I was asked that question. So be prepared. Okay? Have good reasons that are driven by professional development, cultural curiosity, and what are you here to do? What difference can you make in their country or in the school? Less acceptable reasons are money, beaches, travel opportunities. They want professional teachers, yes, and not tourists or mercenaries. So your intention should be to come to work to make a difference in the lives of the students, second language learners. Be early, but expect that they will be late. Yes, you want the job? Make sure you're early. There is a saying that old people say in Jamaica, if you want good, you know how to run. I follow the philosophy, to be on time is to be before time. So make sure you're early. Cultural differences in the Middle East, schools that are attended are largely attended by nationals, so they are Emiratis. So it is important that you understand it. All right, so you will get links on how to about the Middle East and learn a little more about each of the Emirates, and how they operate. You need to paint a mental picture in the mind of the interviewer when you're teaching. Say, for example, how do you maintain discipline in the classroom? So you need to give a scenario, and a poor answer would be, I'm firm but fair. No. The children like me. Those are just basic answers. Prepare yourselves for intense interview. It is better to be prepared than to be unprepared. When you go into that interview, you might not answer all these questions, but then you might have to. Make sure that wherever you are sitting to do this interview, normally they use Teams to do the interview, the lighting is good, audio is clear so that they can hear you clearly and they can see you clearly as well. Also, when you're doing your mini lesson, ensure that you don't really focus too much on videos, because I can tell you technology will fail you. I have that experience on several interviews. So it is best to ensure that you have an interactive and great lesson in 5 minutes, but don't depend on videos. Or you can incorporate videos as long as you are able to in a creative manner, or if you have the time, and if you're really sure that the internet or your device will not fail you. So make sure you are well lit in lighting. Think about what's behind you. So make sure your background is not distracting to whomever you are speaking with. So there's nothing going on behind. There's no loud sounds going on outside or next door. Go into a quiet place. Normally, your interviews are during the very early mornings in Jamaica. So I've not gone on any interview where I did not have to get up and be prepared for my interview at 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning. Yes, because the UAE is 9 hours ahead of Jamaica. So their daytime is our nighttime. So you will just have to work with whatever times that the time slots that are there, and just choose one. When they give you the option to choose an interview date, make sure you test your internet connection and test your sound on the device you're using, laptop preferably. They will also send you various videos. Your recruitment officer will send you various videos on how to prepare yourself for the interview and be knowledgeable about the country that you are seeking a job in. All right, so this is my tip to you on your interview for a job in a teaching job in the United Arab Emirates, the UAE. And I hope I was helpful to someone. Share my subscribe and share and like my video and tell someone so that they too will not be left out or not know much when they enter that interview. I am just sharing my experience with you. I hope this was a good one. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye bye.